On this week's episode, we take you through a day in the life of a person with a chronic illness.
We also get into what's in our bag, chronic illness edition.
Oh.
So stick around. Hi, and welcome to Rare with Flair,
The podcast where two 20-somethings with the same rare disease are out here living our best lives. I'm your host, Casey.
and I'm your host, Cassandra.
Oh, Cassandra, it's a beautiful day. It's just a beautiful day
Full
to
of
be alive.
snow.
Oh yeah, it's full of snow, and which is why I'm actually in a different recording area than I normally am. So if you hear any kind of echo, I'm sorry. If you hear my dog, which I know you probably will, I'm also sorry for that.
Rupert has things to say.
He has lots of things to say. If you hear him chewing on his stick right now as we speak, that's that. That's what that is. So
Hashtag
very
mom
sorry.
tricks.
Mom tricks. That stick will last about 10 minutes, and I don't know what I'll do, but you'll see in the podcast what happens. Stick around for that.
Oh man, yeah, so I hope everyone, if you're listening around the time that this is coming out, I hope everyone is staying safe and warm, and if you don't have to leave your home, please don't.
Yes, well, I'm hoping by the time this episode comes out that it will not be a winter tundra storm problem at that point, but we don't know. Right now, we're in the thick of it, quite literally. So I haven't walked my dog in days.
I know, it's been brutal, but to distract from the winter apocalypse happening outside right now, we have an announcement to make, and we hinted at it in our New Year's episode, like the episode we made after the New Year, and we are here to give you guys this long-awaited announcement. You probably forgot we even said that, but
yeah. You should see my face right now. I am smiling, just cheesing ear to ear. Like, I am so excited to say what we're about to say.
Okay.
And we're going to attempt to say it at the same time, even though we're not together. Like, we're on FaceTime and there's a lag. So we're going to attempt this, okay? Are you ready?
All right. 3.
Who's counting? Oh, wait, you're
Okay,
counting?
yeah, I'll count.
Okay.
3,
Yep.
2, 1. We have
shirts! So, what does that mean? We have shirts. You guys, we are coming out with Rare with Flair shirts. We don't really want to call it merch because it is a fundraiser.
Yes.
So we're coming out with a t-shirt and a crew neck sweatshirt with our logo and our little picture on it. And we are raising money to benefit the Hermansky-Pudlak Syndrome Network, which is the rare disease we have. We've told you guys in the past we are looking for a cure because a lot of people with this disease get a terminal lung disease called pulmonary fibrosis. And although there are some things you can do like lung transplants and things like that, we're looking for a better cure for all these people getting this lung disease. It means so much to us, and we're all of the money that we raise with these shirts are going to go straight to the HPS network.
Yeah, we're not touching this money, and we just thought it would be really fun to make some cool looking shirts for a great cause to support the Hermansky-Pudlak Syndrome Network. I think the design is really cool. It's like almost like an 80s take on our like
Sorry, I'm
artwork.
so excited. I keep butting in to you talking. I'm so excited.
It's very like bluey and pinky, and I think it's gonna I think it looks really nice. So we're super psyched. We're super psyched. But okay, so the deets on the fundraiser. So hopefully you guys are listening to this right when it comes out. Like, we know the dedicated fans you are, but if you're not, this campaign is gonna launch from February the 28th, which is the last day of February of 2021, which is Rare Disease Day. The last day of February, whether it's a leap year or not, is always Rare Disease Day. So we thought it would be a really excellent time to launch this fundraising campaign for the HPS network. And we're going to have it run until March 16th. So it's like slightly more than 2 weeks. I wanted it to end on a Tuesday, just, to stick with our continuity of when we put out episodes. And we're doing it with this company called Custom Ink. They have a fundraising platform. I I wanted to like take just a sec to brag about Custom Ink. If you have a fundraiser, or if you're just trying to make shirts for, I mean, when I was in college, I saw them used all the time for like our sorority or any other sort of like church events or stuff like that. Custom Ink is an amazing company, especially for fundraisers. Like, they have been so easy to work with. You know, we can call them on the phone and talk and ask them any questions, and they get back to us really quickly. So
yes,
awesome company to work with. Cannot like recommend them enough for your next fundraising needs. And also, we were excited because we're using some sort of like an eco smart material for both the shirts and the crew necks, and so, you know, recycled materials helping the earth and being cute
yes.
and warm. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes, and we're not sponsored by Custom Ink at all. We genuinely think that they're great. We're just saying this from our hearts, and we're so excited. We really hope that you will support the HPS network through this campaign and get a great, cute shirt out of it. Like Cassandra said, they look really cool. We're really happy with how they look. It's our cover art, but a little bit of a different take on it, so we really, really hope you like it. And yes, we will be posting it on the 28th, pictures of it and everything, so you guys can actually see what they look like on Rare Disease Day. Yay!
And for any of our international listeners, Custom Ink does ship internationally. You'd have to check the list of countries that they ship to, but they ship to most countries. Obviously, there's like the international shipping, but you know, hey, if you are a non-US listener, also consider supporting us if you're interested. Sorry if my computer fan is super loud. It sounds like it's a rocket taking off to outer space.
I can't hear it, but Rupert's chewing in the back. My dog's chewing is so loud that there's no way that this microphone is not picking it up. So, like, it's just going to be just a lot of background noise in this week's episode. Sorry about it. But today, we are doing a little bit of a day in the life with a chronic illness / what's in our bag. You know that popular YouTube trend of like what's in our bag, but it's like chronic illness edition, so it's funny stuff. And we're going to try to keep this episode, you know, kind of light and funny. We know we've talked about our chronic illness in the past, and it was like a very serious episode. See episode 6 for that. It was very sad.
And that had a place. Like, we really wanted to kind of set the tone in that episode to be serious, just because we were talking about some serious stuff, but it's not always doom and gloom.
Right, exactly. I just kind of wanted to say, you know, we made this podcast as an outlet to talk about these things that are kind of unspoken. I wanted to let people know we don't necessarily go around in our life always talking about this. We don't really want people to see us as like the sick girl. So if you don't know us, or you're just an acquaintance listening, this is not our entire identity. We don't see ourselves as like the sick person. This is just a place for us to talk about it, and hopefully other chronically ill people can hear us and relate to us and feel not so alone. That's why we're doing this.
We do, like, believe it or not, we have lives outside of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, episodes, I don't remember the maybe 7 and 3 are fashion and our music episodes. That's when you really truly see that we have lives. But, you know, we do spend a lot of this podcast talking about the rare, which is our disabilities ranging from like being blind to having all these other chronic conditions that we'll like rehash again in this episode, but in a hopefully more fun way.
Yeah, and that's like one of the reasons we made this podcast, right? Like we want to educate, we want to help people, we want to do all the things. So that's why we're talking about these things that are a little more rare.
Right. And we also wanted to like remind you guys, just like we do in most every episode that we talk about our experience, this is strictly our experiences. You can even tell that our experiences aren't even the same. Right. We are different people, and, you know, while we're going to talk about us and our conditions, like, we are not representative of every single person with, like, both Hermansky-Pudlak syndrome, with any other of these chronic illnesses that we have. This is strictly us.
Yeah, so we were going to kind of go through some of the chronic illness things that we have to deal with on a daily basis and kind of talk about how they affect us on a daily basis before we get to the what's in our bag section, which will be quite fun. So I want to start off with probably, besides our blindness, this is the one other thing we have in common. And this is our bleeding disorder. So we've explained this before. With Hermansky-Pudlak syndrome comes a bleeding disorder. Our platelets are malformed and we bleed easily and we don't clot as easily as other people. So Cass, how does this affect you just on a daily basis, or does it really affect you on a daily basis?
To be honest, not really. And to clarify, like Casey said, our platelets are malformed, but that doesn't mean that we have something like hemophilia. Really, what that means is that, like, when we bleed more easily and it takes a little bit longer to stop the bleeding, and we bruise pretty easily. I guess, like, the way this affects me on a daily basis is, like, I was literally, when we were planning this episode, I, like, had looked down to my leg and I was like, oh, wow, look at that massive bruise. Where did that come from? I don't know. Like, that is definitely something that happens at least once a week. Oh, yeah. And I would say I bruise a little less than the average HPSer. I think, like, most of us are, like, covered in bruises.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and since we have... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, since we have albinism, which means we have pale skin, a lot of doctors will mistakenly say, oh, you just have a lot of bruises because you're pale. And it's like, yes, they technically show up better on pale skin, but it doesn't actually cause more bruising. That's not correct. That's not how that works. So anyway, yeah. I just want to say that.
I think the other thing is, like, I have like a heftier first aid kit than most people maybe. Like, I have gauze and I have, like, Coban, like the stretchy stuff that they wrap around you in hospitals. I've got many types of Band-Aids, and I've got, I don't know if you've ever used this case, but it's like this, it's like a powder that if you're bleeding a lot, and, you know, if you, like, shank your finger while you're cutting something. This is a true story from my life.
Oh, God.
I was dumb. I was, like, in college, and I hadn't cooked that much on my own at the time, and so, like, stupidly I was, like, cutting like a lemon in midair, and I shanked my thumb. God. Because don't do that. But
don't
you know,
do that.
But yeah, I cut my thumb really badly, and so I have this powder. I need to know what it's called. I just call it, like, the bleeding powder, but, like, you basically, like, sprinkle it on, and it like helps clot and scab your wound. So I really think that
cool.
Yeah, but, like, so I just have a heftier first aid kit. I don't know, be careful while shaving, but it's not even.
Oh yes, that's a thing.
Even if I do cut myself while shaving, though, like, it doesn't. I don't know. It stops pretty easily. So it's really not that bad.
Yeah, I've noticed with me, I do bruise constantly, but I do notice with me that if it's a little cut, it stops quicker. And then if it was a big injury, it would be a lot more serious. And you have hemorrhaged before, and I have not.
Yeah, right. And, you know, if you want to hear about my hemorrhages, I don't talk about them, but I referenced that it happened to me in episode 6. But I've only hemorrhaged when I've had internal bleeding. Because for the most part, if we cut ourselves, just like most people, if we put, like, pressure on the wound with either, like, wrapping it or just holding, like, whatever gauze on it, it will stop.
Yes, it will stop
if it's not that bad. But when you're bleeding internally, you can't put pressure up inside your body. So, like, it makes it very, very tricky to stop internal bleeding. That's when our bleeding disorder becomes more of a major issue, is if we're bleeding internally for any reason. But you know, when it's external, which is more likely what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis, honestly, just, like, put pressure on it, keep an eye on it, but, like, otherwise, you'll probably be fine.
Yes. There we go. He finished his steak. Wow, we're only through the first symptom of our chronic illnesses, and we're already dealing with this. So, now we can move on to a different area, is tummies. Let's talk about our tummy problems that we both have.
We're very singy today. I love it.
The tummy. Um, who goes first? You wanna?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow, we're not.
We're
we are
prepared, you
clearly
guys.
Not prepared. We're not prepared at all. See, okay, we both have stomach issues, but they're totally different.
Yeah.
So, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. So,
Go ahead.
So I mentioned this whole thing in episode 6, but I may explain just a little bit how it works. So, I don't have a colon for you that are new here. I had a lot of issues with my colon. We had a nasty breakup, and now I am living colon free, and I couldn't be happier for the past nearly 5 or 6 years. What that means truly is I have this medical device that sits outside my body and it collects the output. We'll say that instead.
People are everything we say, they're just clicking off of this episode.
Bye!
Sorry, y'all. No, it's really not gross. It's actually a beautiful thing that saved your life.
Yeah.
And we need to normalize it, honestly. We're not going to say, the gritty details in this episode of things, but, this device is a life-saving thing for so many people. And I'm so happy that it exists.
And I have to say, out of all of the things in my life, right now, the device specifically, her name is Celeste, so we'll call her Celeste. Celeste is probably the least of my issues, because she's very self-sustaining. And I can't say that for everyone. It's called an ileostomy. So I can't say that for everyone with an ileostomy. But picture the way that it looks outside your body. Obviously you can Google that yourself. When you get your colon taken out, which is your large intestine, they take the end of your small intestine, they poke it through your abdomen, and then they flip it over like a sock, and then they stitch it down. Sorry if that's a lot, but again, chronic illness episode. So the way that this device works is you put a sticker with a hole in it, the size of your little nub outside your body, of your small intestine, and then there's a bag on top of that. Common misconceptions: it does not smell. Everyone always thinks that. It doesn't. You can't tell that it's there. Even when I wear tight clothes, and I'm a fan of tight clothes, so you can't still tell that it's there. It's really discreet. Until I tell people, they have no idea.
Right.
But the way that I deal with it is there are different kinds of pouches that you can use. Some of them have an opening at the end where you can empty them into the toilet. I don't like that because I think it's gross. And so there's another option where the pouch itself is disposable. So I just I put it in a trash bag and then I throw it away. And then I put a new one on top of my sticker because it comes in 2 parts. So, very easy to deal with. I switch out that part, the pouch itself, a couple times a day. It's super small. And then, once or twice a week, I will change, the sticker part that's on my skin, to let my skin breathe. But yeah, that's it. Most of my problems with it are making sure I have enough supplies, which every month I call a supplier and I order new ones. And then they come to my house, and, that's it.
Yeah.
I think the only other thing is, I'm not limited to what I can wear, but there are certain things that I find a little uncomfortable to wear. Again, I'll still wear some tight dresses, some form-fitting clothes, but I mostly wear, I think almost all the time, I wear, jeans that have a high waist because of where it sits on my abdomen. It's really uncomfortable to have jeans that are either too low or fall right on top of it. So a jean with a high waist, it's completely enclosed in my jeans. No one can see it. I'm looking down right now and it looks like the other side of my pants. So honestly,
yeah, no, you can't.
It's so nice. It's so chill. There are some really awesome perks to it is I don't have to ever sit and poop on a toilet. I don't have to find a way. If I were in the woods, which I'm not outdoorsy, I don't have to poop in the woods. I don't have to poop on a sketchy toilet. I can do my business without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
It is a really great thing for me, and it is actually not that big of a deal, and I would love for the world to know that they need to get over it, and it's just a bag. The end.
Yes. Yes. It's really such an amazing device. I'm so happy that it's given you, I knew Cassandra before she got this bag, and I saw the difference in her quality of life. And it's just given you such a second life.
I would not have survived without it. Again, listen to episode 6 if you want to know the tea, but really, like, that's all. You can talk about some of your tummy stuff, and then I'll bring it back with, like, other non-bag related things.
Sure. And so my tummy stuff, I have a few things going on. I have gastroparesis, which is, I don't even quite even know how to properly explain it because I'm not a doctor, but the muscles in my stomach don't digest food quickly enough. I had to eat radioactive eggs to do the test for this, and they would x-ray me every few hours. I know.
I'm picturing like a glowing hard-boiled egg, like in a cartoon.
No, seriously, it's like I should have gotten superpowers from this, but you eat these eggs, they called them radioactive eggs, right? So then every hour or two, I don't know, it was years ago that I did this test, but every few hours you get an x-ray done and they see where the eggs are in your digestion.
Wait, were they actually hard-boiled eggs?
They were scrambled.
Oh, how fun
scrambled
is that?
Eggs. It was a fun time. So anyways, along with that, and probably somewhat because of that, maybe that could be related, I have GERD, which is, really bad acid reflux. And mine is so severe to the point where I'm on 2 medications every day for it. And the medications are actually not too good for you either. Like, they're causing my stomach to have polyps, but you kind of got to choose, which would you rather have polyps or rather, this is what chronic illness life is. It's
the Sophie's choice of what is the symptom worse than the side effect.
Symptom worse than the side effect. That is your constant life with everything you do. So I'm like, well, I would rather be on the medication because truly my acid reflux is so bad that my quality of life is horrible without medication. And even if I eat really, really well, it's not like I'm that kind of person who it's just like, oh, I just have to avoid tomato sauce and I'll be fine. No, it's like anything I eat. So I have those things. I have bad cramps a lot. I've just never had a great stomach, and Cassandra's stomach issues are due from Hermansky-Pudlak syndrome. Mine, not necessarily, although we really, I have HPS type 3, and we almost really don't even know enough about all of the types to know what is causing what, you know what I mean? I don't have the bowel disease of HPS, but I always have had stomach problems. So it's kind of like, I don't know what's going on with that. But that's my stomach stuff. Pretty fun.
Is there anything that you avoid eating intentionally? Because I know you mentioned everything gives you reflux, but...
Yeah, spicy foods, red sauce. I don't completely avoid it. Sometimes I'll just do it because, like I said, I'm on multiple medications for this anyway. And, I absolutely avoid caffeine, but that's for other reasons that I'll have to maybe get into. That's other health issues that caffeine bothers me with. Do you have more tummy stuff to share with us?
I do. Yeah, I know. So I feel like most of my problems are related to my GI tract, but I have other issues outside. I have some skin issues that I'm not really going to get into because I feel like that's a little personal, but it is partially related to the fact that I have Crohn's, and once you have an autoimmune disease, your body just kind of attacks itself at will. So that's why, we may have related issues, is because honestly we already have an autoimmune disease, so it's really not out of the question. So that's why my skin stuff comes up. So I do take immunosuppressant injections once every almost couple months. They're really not that bad. I've tried a lot of immunosuppressants in the past, and the one that I've been on has worked the best so far, and I don't mind injecting myself at all. I have no issues with it. I have no queasiness to it either. It's just getting over the mental block of actually sticking it in you, but otherwise
I used to have to give myself allergy shots all the time, and I didn't care. I was just stab.
All right, let's go. I know
I think medical stuff for us just doesn't faze us because we're so used to this life.
No, yeah, it's just part of it, really. I used to have to get infusions, which means like having something slowly delivered via IV instead of just something that I get like a syringe injecting myself. I feel like the injections are so much better than the infusions because like I don't have to spend 4 hours getting an IV when I could really just like do it in 5 minutes at my house.
Yeah, so much better.
But with Crohn's disease and with my ostomy, I can't eat a lot of fiber, so it always makes people laugh or always weirds people out. Like, I can't really eat a lot of fruits and vegetables because it actually physically will hurt my stomach. I get lots of cramps if I eat too much fiber, and like it's like quite painful, and it could actually cause like a blockage.
Oh.
I'm really careful about when I eat nuts and other fibers. So I just like I can't have like a whole salad. I mean, most of my diet consists of like protein and dairy and carbs. So yeah. People are always like, wow, like you can't eat fruits. Like, no. And trust me, I would love to eat fruits. I really miss eating lots of salad, but I actually cannot.
You know, no, that is something I never really knew either until recently about you. And I mean, I know you can eat a lot more now than you could before you got your bag.
Before I got my bag, I was living on Ensure.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you love eggs. I'm glad.
I love
You've never had radioactive eggs, but you love eggs.
I have eggs almost every day.
So, anything else for you?
That's my laundry list.
You literally named 50 things and then you're like, I think that's it.
I think I finished.
Oh my god. My list of things is so long and random that I sound I don't know. I kind of sound like a hypochondriac or something when I list all of them off. And the fact of the matter is that they truly are all real diagnosed things. I think when part of your body is diseased, it really affects your whole body.
Yep.
You know, nothing quite goes right. And because of that, I have had a lot of anxiety around my health my whole life because things just kind of fall apart. But my therapist told me, yes, I have talked about this. She told me, like, no, you're actually not a hypochondriac because everything that you think is happening, like, really is. Like, you really do have all this stuff. But yeah, I have asthma. I have Hashimoto's disease, which is a autoimmune disease that attacks your thyroid, which I have under control right now, which is good. But it has hurt me in the past. I have like chronic anemia, and I have kidney stones and a bunch of random other crap. Some bladder issues.
Do you take iron for your anemia, or?
I take iron every day, but that wasn't even doing the trick, so I have to get infusions as well. And so that's why I call it chronic anemia, because no matter what I do, it doesn't really ever get back up to the right number unless I'm constantly, keeping watch on it. And one of my main things, though, that I wanted to touch on is I have chronic pain. And I made a whole YouTube video about this, actually, and it's one of my most vulnerable videos I've ever made. I was kind of proud of it because I really went through my whole life journey with chronic pain.
I will link that in the show notes.
Oh, good. Yeah. If you're interested in that, I don't want to go too long here. But I've had chronic pain probably since I was 12. I really, truly think everything hit the fan when I went through puberty. And I don't know why. My mental health went down. My physical health went down. Luckily, my mental health, even though we talked about this in episode 6, we keep referencing episode 6.
It was a really important episode to make.
It was an important episode. But we've talked about how we have some mental illness stuff. But luckily, I really have that under control. But my physical health still never has quite been the same. And I don't know I have fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain disorder. But the thing is, fibromyalgia is not... It's kind of just an umbrella term for, you have chronic pain. It's not really a diagnosed condition. It's diagnosed by symptoms pretty much, and they're still doing a lot more research on it. So maybe one day there could be more found out about it. But yeah, I have chronic pain, so I have like a baseline pain every day. And some days it's absolutely a roller coaster ride. Like, I'll have a really bad week, and then I'll have some good weeks. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. I've always tried to figure out, like, is it the weather? Is it what I'm eating? Is it the exercise I'm doing? And to me, it's really not. I will say my pain gets worse when I like travel or when I overexert myself or when I'm tired. It definitely gets worse. If I'm on a trip where it's a high energy trip like Disney World or something, by the last day, I am really not in a good spot. But, you know, for the most part, I actually am not on medication for this. And it's one of those things, again, where, you know, is the treatment worse than the actual symptom? I've done physical therapy before and things like that, and I try to stay active and not too hard. They don't want you to really exercise too hard, but just like a minimal exercise, you know? And yeah, so I keep it under control, and there's always that option to be medicated, but at the same time, I'm very sensitive to medication, so I don't want to deal with all the side effects either.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so that's I think we've kind of gone over.
Yeah. Actually,
like,
I just remembered like a couple other things that I have not mentioned.
Fun.
I know, right? It's just like, oh yeah, that also happens to me. Yeah. So
funny.
So funny. I know. So with my ostomy, since the job of your colon is to suck out the water from your digested food. I don't have that, so like I lose a lot more water than the average person who has their colon. So I have to actually stay hydrated medically. I will dehydrate faster than most people. I do drink, like, especially this year, I've really gotten good at my New Year's resolution, which is to like drink a lot of water. I have been doing that, and I have been doing that this whole year.
How much do you say you drink a day?
Oh, okay. So let's see. The water bottle I have right now is like 24 ounces. And I probably do like 3 or 4 of those a day, so probably at least the 64 ounces that people say. But I was gonna mention this a little bit later, but like I will often drink like electrolyte powder to help like keep myself hydrated, especially when I'm feeling like particularly really, really tired. And the other thing is, like, when we, you know, this wasn't per se related to our periods, but I feel like my periods physically affect me a lot also outside of the fact of just, you know, what the period is. But I think almost every single period without fail, and this happened yesterday, I get a migraine. I've gotten migraines since I was like a junior in high school, and I don't know why they started, but like I rarely ever have a normal headache anymore. It always turns into a migraine headache, and so
that's terrible.
They really put me out of commission. Like, they last for a long time, and I'm still really like tired from it, and it happened like last night. So I'm super glad they're not chronic, because you have to have like 15 migraine days to be chronic. Like, it's more like a once a month, here's my monthly migraine, but like...
but still...
It's still really annoying.
Still terrible, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyways...
Not fun,
Actually, wait, there was one more thing I had on my list that we could both talk about, and it's just the non-physical effects of having a chronic illness.
Oh, so many things, yes.
How often would you say that you have to call people on the phone, Casey?
Weekly.
Yep.
Weekly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am on the phone with a doctor weekly. Mm-hmm. Or getting a prescription filled, or insurance, or whatever it is, weekly. Trying to get, leave a message with the nurse to get someone to call you back, anyone to call you back.
Yep.
It's the end of the week, the weekend's coming, no one's calling you back.
You know when to call, because you want to call in the morning before they've had their lunch.
You don't want to go to the ER, so you need to get the doctor to answer.
Yeah, exactly. And like sometimes you know your doctors, like, oh, you know that they'll respond quickly on my chart, but if you leave a message, they will get back to you fast. You know, it's just
you better write a message on my chart and call.
Yep.
You can do both,
because then you can, when you
other,
call, you can say, I sent a message on my chart.
I sent a message on my chart, and I haven't gotten a reply yet, and it's been days.
And hour, but I need the answer.
It is legitimately a part-time job.
Yep.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
A part-time job. Trying to get, when you go to pick up a prescription, oh, your doctor, you have no more refills on this prescription. You've got to go back to the doctor to get a refill on this. And it's really funny because throughout the pandemic, I've actually kind of canceled some doctor's appointments because I wanted to limit my time. So this is like the first time in my life, and like, trust me, I've been to at least 10 to 15 appointments throughout the year of 2020. But this is the least I've ever been to the doctors. And so, but still, like, it is, and it literally makes us sound a little like
dramatic.
Like, I don't
know.
Yeah. It makes us sound dramatic. It makes us sound like we're like looking for problems, or we're like creating problems. Like, oh, the doctor, my left finger hurts. I need to go see the doctor and make sure I'm not dying. It's genuinely not that. A lot of it is like keeping up with like other, diagnoses that you already have. It's not like every time I'm going to the doctor, it's like a new problem or anything like that. It's like keeping up with all the stuff I've got going on. So yeah, it sounds dramatic that we'd be going to the doctor that much, but it's genuinely what it takes, because that's what the word chronic means. These issues are not going away ever.
Yeah, no, it's all about like mitigating the issues, but like it truly, like, I have at least 5 specialists for all my different issues, and I'm sure that you do too. And so you kind of get really good at record keeping, because
oh my gosh,
you guys like would get such a kick out of some of these messages I send my doctors. I'm like, on 12/15 I felt this symptom, and then I found it again on like whatever date, and I just give them a giant list of like one thing. And so that is something that happens. But also, if we ever have to see a new doctor for any reason, a new issue comes up, like, or we have to, our doctor moved and we have to get established with someone new, guys, we have our like minute-long HPS spiel that is like, unique to us, where we tell our details to this new doctor, and like, we're the experts in the room here.
Oh, yeah. They don't know what HPS is. They've never heard of it. They Google it before we get there. Ready for this? HERMAKSKY. Wait, MAN. Wait, now I tried to do it so fast that I messed it up, but I was trying to prove how fast I could spell it. HERMANSKYPUDLAK syndrome, because you spell it so often. Thank you. That was my fast spelling. Messed it up the first time.
It's always like, I always say like really slowly. I'm like, I have Hermansky-Pudlak syndrome. Do you want me to spell that for you?
Yeah. And then you have to say, oh, yeah. My eye problems, that goes along with the bleeding. That's the same disorder.
They see my guide dog in the room, and they're like, and I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. We're not here for this.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. No, this is completely unrelated. And the thing is, every doctor will try to blame HPS on everything wrong with you. Like, you'll be like, I'm having a thyroid problem, and they're like, oh, it must be that Hermansky-Pudlak syndrome.
Like, no.
Is that part of your condition? No. And then when I know our condition, and so do you, like the back of my hand. And when I start getting all scientific and explaining it, they're very impressed. They're like, whoa, you really do know this. And I'm like, well, yes, it's my actual life, and I live it every day. And it's actually hilarious. And I feel like on that note too, is like most people have like a general practitioner doctor, I feel like we have a pulmonologist, a hematologist, I have a cardiologist, a GI doctor, a rheumatologist, like it's like you have like 1,000 different ones.
I have like 2 different dermatologists for 2 different things. Like, no lie, I just
then they all have to know.
And it's funny because I feel like I find myself like hardly ever messaging my primary care doctor, because I just message my specialist directly when I have a question.
No, that's so true. No, that's such a thing. It's such a thing.
My primary is just going to tell me to talk to my specialist anyway, so like, why?
Right, yes. I feel like I talk to my GI the most. We're tight, and actually he's moving soon, so it brings up the thing of like, I know, it's actually it's actually terrifying. I'm not even kidding.
Oh.
Because he also deals with my anemia too, so it's like a lot of stuff.
No, I know.
So,
I love my nurse I see a nurse practitioner as my GI these days, and she's really, really excellent. But like, I love our appointments because I feel like half the time we're like socializing, and then I'm like, all right, so here are my symptoms lately.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess. Sorry.
I was
go
gonna
on,
say, I think
on.
the other last quick thing is like we just know too much about our condition.
I forgot about this.
We know too much about how health insurance works. We know too much about how doctors' offices are run.
Yes, and hospitals. And I was just telling Cass the other night, I always feel like a know-it-all, and I hate being a know-it-all, but whenever my friends are having an issue at the doctor, the hospital, anything, I'm always like, oh yeah, that's normal, or oh, they'll do this for you, or oh, they're going to give you this, or oh, it's going to take this long to get you in a room, or whatever. And I'm like, I need to just shut up because nobody wants to hear me, but like we've been in the hospital so many times. And the ER and all of that so many times, and the doctor's office in general, that we know too much.
You guys, you never want to be expedited in the ER. The only time that's going to happen is if you are like literally bleeding or having a heart attack.
No, and you have been, so that's actually
I
terrifying.
felt so royal when they were like,
oh my God.
right this way. You don't even have to sit in the waiting room.
The worst kind of royal,
it's
though.
The worst
actual worst kind of royal. No, you don't. I've never been expedited, but I've totally been like in a hallway being treated in the ER.
Oh,
Which is really funny. When they don't have any rooms left, they just put me on a stretcher in the hall.
We love that.
Love that. No, it's hilarious. Like, I've never been to medical school, so I'm not going to ever claim to know more than a doctor, but we do know a lot, and we do know more about our disease since it's a rare disease, and that's rare disease. # rare disease life is like knowing everything about your disease.
You have to be your own expert.
You have to be your own expert.
Truly, and
advocate.
It's not the doctor's fault. Doctors are very smart, but there's no way on earth that they could know about every single disease, every single rare disease.
Oh yeah, there's literally no way. Except one time I did mention it, and they said, "Oh yeah, albino bleeding thing," and I was so thrilled that they knew what that was.
Wow.
Because they've usually heard of albinism, so you can say it's a type of albinism and kind of get that, but it's very confusing to explain.
But anyways.
All right. So now we get to the fun part. What's in my bag?
What's in my bag?
Oh, that's the theme song.
I guess it
What's
is.
in my bag? Yeah. We say we're good singers, and then we sing like that.
Yeah.
So let's go back and forth.
Okay.
What's in your bag, chronic illness edition. And we're going to add in some normal things too, not necessarily chronic illness related, just what's in our bag at all times. I'll go first.
Okay.
I always have a snack in my bag because I also have hypoglycemia. And my blood sugar will drop and I will start sweating and shaking and about to pass out if I do not have a snack. And my mother, hello mom, shout out, will yell at me because a lot of times I don't have a snack. And she was like, Casey, why don't you always should have a snack in your bag. And so that is my shout out that I have a snack in my bag.
My mom packs snacks when we'll go places together still, and I know I should. I don't have hypoglycemia, but I know I should because I'm kind of a snacker. Like I will graze throughout the day, but if I don't eat, not only will I get hangry like a normal person, but it really is not good for me if I wait too long. So that's a thing. But one thing that we always have is our bleeding medications. We have rescue meds of various kinds in our bags. And also, I want you guys to understand as especially, I can speak for myself, as I'm listing the things that are in my bag, it's a small bag. It's like a miniature backpack. So we're able to cram in a lot of things in our tiny purses. Or I think I'm also kind of gonna list what I would carry with me to work, which is in a larger backpack, but it's not that full. Understand?
Yes.
But
So
yeah.
what's your next there? Was snack yours too? Or
No,
what's your next
bleeding
thing?
meds. That's what I was saying.
Bleeding meds. Wow, what am I? Did I just like completely black out?
It's more of like, we don't take bleeding medications on the daily, but should
Right.
something major happen when we're out and
We need-
about,
yes.
we need to have them with us just in case that we don't have to like immediately run to the hospital. We can kind of like patch
Yes.
things up first.
Absolutely. Okay, so my next one is my inhaler. I have a few at-home inhalers that stay at home, but I always try to also have one in my bag just in case. So yeah, that's the explanation there. That's all I got to say about that. My inhaler. I love it. It's my best friend. Helps me out.
My next thing is ostomy bags. So yeah, like I said, I use my bags disposably. So when they are full, I go to the bathroom, I pop it off, I pop on a new one, and I throw it away in a trash bag. So,
Perfect.
I carry my extra ostomy bags like most girls carry their feminine products.
Yeah, it's kind of similar in that regard.
Yeah, I honestly keep them in the same pouch, and like just in case something were to go wrong with like the adhesive part of my bag, I have like a full set of like the appliance to possibly do like a really quick change should that ever happen. But it rarely does for me. I feel really grateful in that aspect because, I feel like they placed mine really well. So I don't really have that many issues with it, but I have it just in case.
Nice. Cool. Next, I usually have some ginger candy. They're called gingins. Now, eating a lot of ginger is it's actually not good for your bleeding disorder, which is really funny, but ginger candy really helps me with my acid reflux. So if I know that I'm about to, if it's like Thanksgiving Day and I'm about to eat a ton or like about to go out to a big dinner, carry my ginger candies. They really help. Even though I'm already on medication, I sometimes need that extra kick of ginger. So I really do always have them in my bag. I do.
I feel like that makes me think of, I'll do a quick list of, this is more for like my work backpack. I'll do a quick list of small, tiny bottles of pills that I carry with me for various reasons.
Oh. Yes.
Besides the bleeding meds, I've got, acetaminophen. So like we can't take aspirin or NSAID blood thinners. So I can pretty much exclusively take acetaminophen. Or the acetaminophen with caffeine for a migraine, but like not any of the blood thinner kinds. So I also have Imodium, the anti diarrheal. So ostomy diarrhea is really bad because again, sorry about the diarrhea, but anyway, you lose a lot of liquid normally, but like I can dehydrate like that if I have diarrhea.
That's
so
scary.
like
That's
I have
scary.
to have that with me because I have been in a situation where I didn't have it and I was like, I need it now. So it was
gosh.
really scary. So I have that. I have the opposite of that, which is like a stool softener. So that's in a case I eat too much fiber and I'm in lots of pain. I need a stool softener. But yeah, so those are at least 3 different kinds of pills I have with me, especially in my work backpack. But in my purse, I normally just have Tylenol. So
Nice. Okay, good. My next thing, I do not have this in my bag at all times, but I would definitely have this if I was traveling or if I was going to be out all day somewhere. I love icy hot patches. I'm obsessed. When I have a lot of my chronic pain is upper back, shoulder issues, and if I can just slap an icy hot on top of my shoulder, I will be good to go. Not completely, of course. It still hurts a little bit, but it really, really takes the edge off. So I definitely am carrying those with me whenever I am going to be out all day or something like that because they're really great.
my next thing is, we share, but I have a roll of poop bags for my dog because I have a guide dog.
Oh, you have a guide doggy.
We share the trash bags.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. My next thing goes back to the visual impairment. I do not wear glasses, and we have explained this. I want to say I went through my whole glasses convo on episode 2, if you haven't heard that. But I do have prescription glasses that I will wear on very rare occasion. They don't help me all that much, but I carry them in my bag in case I maybe am going to like a movie or something where they might help a little bit, I will wear them there. So I carry them in my purse all the time.
One other thing we have is sunglasses, because having albinism, we're super light sensitive, so we usually carry a pair of sunglasses.
Yes, always. If I were to leave the house without sunglasses, why did I just say it like that? Sunglasses. I would be absolutely miserable. I could do a whole episode on photophobia and how bad it is and how much it affects my life if I do not have sunglasses. Even sometimes when I do have sunglasses, it can be it is exhausting. It takes all of your energy out of you when it is so bright. You just feel sick, like physically sick.
Yeah, no. I have transition lenses, which do work to an extent. So most of the, like, if I'm not out for a long time, I can get away with just my transitions. But otherwise, I will have my sunglasses. If I'm planning to be outside for a while, I need sunglasses.
Yes, it is snowing right now, and the white snow
Pain!
completely blinds me. I am seeing absolutely zero when I walk outside in the snow. And that's that. Oh, wait, that was you.
Yep.
So I think most of my next things are like not super disability related, but I also usually always have mints with me. I just like to do a little mint if I'm going out to eat pre-pandemic. And I also like lip products.
Yeah, I've got like hand sanitizer, I've got headphones, I've got lipstick and lip balm, I also have a reusable straw. Save the environment, save the turtles.
Yeah.
I've got my little metal straw.
Yes, I had hand sanitizer with me all the time, even before the pandemic, because my immune system's not great, and neither is yours. You're on immunosuppressant medication, so it is important to have our hand sanitizer with us all the time.
Yeah, I would say also in my work backpack, I've got pouches of electrolyte powder, like I mentioned before. My favorite brand is called Drip Drop. We're not sponsored by them, but I would love to be, because I really, really love them, and I think they're like 1,000 million times better than Pedialyte. And
we'll link them in the show notes.
Yeah, Drip Drop is the bomb. And in my work backpack, I've mentioned I have bioptic lenses before. A lot of people with albinism can use them to drive. I can't drive, nor do I want to. But I have a pair of bioptics because, it's like a think a binocular, but only one, and then think of that mounted on a pair of glasses. So that's how a bioptic works. So it's like a hands-free, like long distance viewing kind of a thing. I have that just in case, like, I'm at a meeting at work and it would look rude if I took out my phone, which is what I would normally do.
Yeah, no, I actually always have my monocular. So a monocular, kind of the difference is a monocular is handheld, whereas bioptics are glasses with the monocular on it, or telescope, or whatever you want to call that thing. But I do always, that's another thing, I really do always have my monocular in my bag, and I just got bioptics this year for Christmas. And I am so excited to watch my nephew play soccer and maybe watch theater again one day. And like,
they're really useful.
If I'm they're so amazing, because if I'm just sitting at my nephew's soccer game, I see nothing, nothing without a bioptic. And so I don't drive either, don't plan to have, nope, can't drive. But bioptics are useful for other things for us. So I will definitely always have them in my bag. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, and I used to carry my monocular more. But I honestly, if my phone is like charged and working, I'll just zoom in with the camera is what I've done more often, because I can take a picture and then look at it closer.
Definitely. Well,
that's what's in our bags.
I think that's what's in our bag. So that was kind of fun and a funny way. We thought that would just be a funny way to show you inside the daily life. Sorry, that was my dog. The daily life of a chronic illness person in like a funny, cute way of like, because the YouTube trend, what's in my bag. So we thought that would be funny.
Yeah. Plus, like, truly, so that you guys understand like a little bit about our lives. Like, we have a lot of issues, and yes, like, it could be overwhelming, but with proper planning and preparation, we can do pretty much just fine. And as long as we're physically feeling okay and we're not too drained or anything, we can pretty much do most everything that we want to do.
Absolutely. Like, I feel like we live really normal lives for the most part,
Yeah.
besides going to the doctor all the time, but that's kind of a part of our lives that even a lot of people around us don't even realize
I have
about
to
us.
show
and
you, Case. I have a sticker. I have stickers on my water bottle, but I have a sticker that says, "Sorry I'm late. I had a doctor's appointment."
Stop. I love that. I used to have a t-shirt like that about theater. It was like, I can't. I have rehearsal. Like, but I love that so much. Yeah, like we don't really see ourselves as sick people. We don't see ourselves that way, but we also don't really see ourselves as healthy people either. It's this weird in between of like, everything we have is manageable and we're very grateful for that, and it takes a lot of planning, but we kind of fake it well too, I guess.
Yeah.
In everyday life.
Plus,
we don't really talk about it a whole lot.
It ebbs and flows, right? Like, there are times in our lives, like, we talk, like, when I talk about my whole, like, journey with Crohn's disease in episode 6, like, those were times in my life that I could not do almost anything.
Yeah, I've been there.
So,
I mean, not to that extent of you, but I've been, I've had certain times where I've been like in the hospital or whatever.
Chronic illness can be incapacitating, but at the point we are right now in our lives, and at the point we are in our conditions, like, we're doing okay. It's not gone, but it is, like, manageable.
Yes, exactly. Well, we are an hour in, so we're not going to keep you guys much longer, but we don't have a game today, unfortunately. But we have a really exciting announcement, I think. Maybe not quite as exciting to you guys as the shirt would be, but it's exciting for us. Do you want to say it at the same time again and be all cheesy?
Oh, yeah, let's try it again.
Okay, count down for us, Boo.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. We've
been
got vaccinated.
I think I said we got vaccinated and you said we've been vaccinated.
Close enough.
So, close enough. Y'all, we both have had our first vaccine.
Wow.
You heard us talk about it in episode, oh gosh, I'm losing count of the numbers now, but in that episode where we were talking about New Year's goals.
I think it was 11.
Episode 11, I think you're right. In episode 11, you heard us talk about our dreams, our hopes and dreams of this moment. And we did it, and it felt historic. Didn't it feel just
really
amazing?
Really did. Like, I felt like just walking in, I was like, I feel like I could taste life again.
No, literally, like, the night before I got mine, I felt like a kid on Christmas Eve. I felt giddy and excited, and I'm gonna feel the same way for the second dose, maybe even more so, because I'll be almost, like, done, like, with this. Yo, it is the best feeling, and I'm so sorry to anyone who wants it who hasn't been able to get it. We're not trying to rub it in anyone's faces that, like, oh, we got the vaccine. I want everyone to have it. I even had some vaccine guilt when I got it, of like, oh, but I want everyone to get it who wants to get it, We are just so happy.
So I know that we will both be immunized. Because after the second dose, after 2 weeks after that, I think is when they say that you're kind of fully immunized. So we will both be fully immunized right before Easter, and we're so excited for that.
I felt so emotional getting it, and just so you guys know, like, you got yours today, so we're not quite sure so far, but we had I had basically no side effects except just sore at the injection site.
I love how people call that a side effect. It's just part of getting stuck with a sharp object.
Right, exactly. So I'm sure there will be more side effects for the second dose. I say bring them on. I don't care, because I know it's my own immune system working. I know it's not going to last long, and I know it's much safer than COVID. So I don't really want terrible side effects, but I know they won't last long, and I'll at least know what's going on and that it's caused by the vaccine and not like,
Y'all, I've gotten so many vaccinations in my life, and I also said like every other month I'm like injecting myself, so I have zero problem with needles. Like, here we are, bring it on.
Like, actually, the side effects are not even really side effects of the actual vaccine. It's your own immune response. The second time.
Your body's
So,
like
just-
ready to fight.
Your body's fighting, which my immune system sucks. So I'm thinking maybe my symptoms won't even be as bad in my response. I am shocked that Rupert has made it through. I'm such a
proud of
proud
him.
mom. I am a proud mom. You have no idea how hard it is to get him
Round
to
of
sit still for an hour.
applause.
Because he's young and he also hasn't been walked in days, and I'm so proud of him, y'all. I'm sorry if you could hear him chewing his stick. If you heard any weird noises in the background, I promise it wasn't me making any weird like mouth noises. I promise it was him. So anyway, please buy our t-shirts if you feel so inclined to do so. All of the money is going to a great cause, and we hope you like them. We're excited. I'm excited to wear them. I'm so excited.
Y'all, I'm thrilled
About the shirts. I'm thrilled too. I'm so thrilled. So watch out for that on all of our social medias. On February 28th, we'll be posting it on our Facebook, our Instagram,
I forgot
our
to
Twitter.
say why we're ending it that early. Because April 6th is Hermansky Podlack Syndrome Awareness
Yes.
Day, and we want to make sure that
Yes.
everyone who orders a shirt will have it before then. So,
Yes.
woohoo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. I guess that's it.
See you in another couple weeks, and go and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yes. Give us those reviews if you liked the show. All right. Bye.
Bye.